my name is Tonya Phillips. I own a studio in Louisville, Kentucky called PM Yoga. PM Yoga stands for Prayer and Motion, and I'm so grateful to have you here today to join me with this short practice. Props you'll need are a yoga strap. If you have one handy, awesome. If not, you can use a necktie or an old belt, something laying around that you can get both hands around. If no props are available, I'll get you where we're going, no worries. So we're going to start an easy cross-leg pose if this is something that's appropriate for you. If it's not, you're always welcome to just extend your legs out or even start in a back line position. But if you're seated like this, we want to sit with a lengthened spine. So kind of adjust your sits bones. Hands can remain on the knees or the thighs. We're just going to close the eyes and take a few breaths in. If you're able, you'll inhale through the nose, as well as exhale through the nose. We want to center ourselves, help ourselves to feel a little bit grounded, and prepare our bodies for the movement that we're going to be practicing. If you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed or anxious, you're more than welcome to exhale out through your mouth with an audible sigh. Continue for 4 more rounds. Making this our last one. Deeply inhale. And exhaling fully through your nose or your mouth, whatever your preference. And if your eyes are closed, we'll go ahead and blink them open. And we're just going to start at the top of the body. So we'll start to move the neck, tucking your chin to the chest. Inhale, and lifting the chin, looking up, focusing on drawing the chin forward so that you can feel a stretch in your neck. Remember to pull your shoulders back. Lift your collarbones a little bit and sit with a lengthened spine. We'll come back to center. I usually call this home base. Looking over to the left, just moving to where the neck feels appropriate. And over to the right. So at some point when I am stretching my neck, I usually move my arms down to the sides. It just helps me keep my shoulders down a little bit easier. We're going to stack the left ear over the left shoulder. And if you needed some more, you can reach your right hand walking away and take your left hand and add it to the head. We're still sitting with a nice tall spine. We've got a nice relaxed breath. And we're stretching the neck. Be mindful to release any tension in the facial muscles around the jaw. I'll meet you back at home. We'll pause here for just a moment. And then we'll switch to the other side. Right ear stacks over. Your additions are left fingers walking away. Right hand coming to the head. Back home. Once again, we'll tuck that chin. Sliding the chin over towards the right collarbone, over towards the left collarbone. And finally back to center. Here we are back at home again. We'll start moving the arms. Take an inhale, reach up. Exhale, pressing down. Again, inhale. Exhale, pressing down. Moving into eagle arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take your right arm under. Elbows draw down towards the chest. Let's move the shoulder blades back a little bit, sit up just a bit taller. Nothing like ambulance sounds in a live video. Release, big inhale, sweep up, and on the exhale, left arm goes under. So if this isn't an option, you could just hug yourself. Left arm will be on the bottom in this instance. Just trying to bring some awareness to the shoulders. We'll release. The alternative here is going to be cactus arms instead of a sweep out and up. Otherwise, you're sweeping out and up. Exhale, bringing the hands to the floor. Let's slide the left hand out, reach the right arm up and over. You're going to turn the head the way that feels just right to your neck. Most of the time for me, that's looking down. Like a rainbow up and over to the other side, right hand on the floor, left arm reaching up and over. Good, and back to center will come. From here, we're gonna hinge forward from the hips. So you'll just walk your hands out to a comfortable distance. If you're able to give a little bit more, maybe you reach your arms a little further. Good place to tap the chin to bring some length into the neck. We're just focusing on drawing length into the spinal muscles. If you're able, we'll walk the hands a little bit towards the right, but still keeping them forward. And a little bit towards the left. I'll meet you back in the middle, and we'll use our hands to walk ourselves up all the way up. We're back in our lengthened spinal position. We're just going to simply switch our legs. So we'll extend the legs long, maybe point and flex the feet a few times, and switch your lead leg if you're able. Always making sure to adjust your seat, sitting upright on your sits bones. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, pressing away. We'll do that 2 times. Inhale. Exhale. This time we're starting with the eagle arms on the left side. So left arm goes under. And switching, inhale, reaching up, exhale, right arm goes up. Inhale, reaching up, exhale, hands come to the floor. We'll start with right hand on the floor, left arm over. And like that rainbow up and over to the other side. Back to center, we'll fold forward yet again. Just again, bringing awareness wherever we're feeling this. You should always be in communication with your body anytime you're moving, whether it's a yoga practice or any other style of movement. Walking the hands off to the left. You're missing out on a lot if you don't take note of what the body is saying. And then over to the right. Center, and I'll meet you back. So from here, we're going to extend our legs long again. And I'll scoot back on the mat. You just want to make sure your whole body's on your mat or on your carpet, wherever you are practicing. I'll draw the right heel in towards us, heel towards your seat. You're going to sit up really, really tall, extend through your left foot, root down through your right. You'll take your left arm and wrap it around. And since this is our first twist, we're going to keep a really slow, gentle approach. So right hand coming behind you, extending through the spine, and maybe just keeping your body facing just to the side instead of rotating all the way around. A couple rounds of breath. Good, and we'll come back to center. If you're able, you're going to pick up your right leg, just support it with both hands at the foot and at the thigh, and start to move it and rock your baby. If you're a little more flexible, you can move your foot up into the crook of the left elbow, wrapping the right arm around the outside of the leg, and hug the leg in towards the body. Sometimes rocking feels best, sometimes just simply sitting with a compressed position feels better. What we don't want to do is round our back too much, so sit up really, really tall. From here, we'll guide the leg to rest on the mat. Foot kind of snuggles up against the inner thigh. If this is too much of a bend in the knee, the foot would slide down, maybe to the calf area. You could also use a prop, a blanket, or a block underneath your knee if needed. A strap is a great option to have if your hamstrings are feeling a little tight or your back's bothering you from too much sitting. But otherwise, we'll just walk the hands forward. If you're more flexible, absolutely reach towards your foot and draw your toes towards you. Trying to square up as best as you can. Lengthening through the spine on the inhale. Exhale, deepen into the posture. Want to avoid locking the joints, so if you're feeling an overwhelming response behind the knees, soften it up a little bit. And we'll inhale and come up. We're just going to switch legs. So right leg extending, left leg drawing in, your heel towards your seat, sitting up tall, wrapping that right arm around, left hand traveling behind you, lengthening through the spine. Good. As we come back to center, we'll pick up this left leg, rock our little leg baby. And again, if you have a little more flexibility, you might pull it closer towards your body. From here, we'll set the leg down, heading into our Janushirasana, head to knee pose. So just readjust, lengthen through your spine, and come forward, walking those hands to that most comfortable position. Always coming back to the breath. Always taking notes, the observation of what the body presents. Good, we'll come back up and extend that left leg long. So from here, we're gonna turn over to a tabletop position. And so the recommendation would be, if you're not on a yoga mat, stick like mine, you can use a blanket under the knees, or if you're on carpet, maybe even better. So you wanna have shoulders over wrists over elbows, or shoulders over elbows over wrists, knees under hips, about shoulder width and then hip width distance apart. You're gonna start to press down through the knuckles, bring some awareness into the core. And as you inhale, drop your belly, lift it into cow. And on the exhale, press it away into cat. I would typically do about 8 to 10 of these. It's just a really good way to work out the kinks in the back from lots of sitting. For an extra breath in that cat position with your head just hanging through abs to press all the air out. From this position, we'll send the seat back towards the feet for child pose. If you need to, you can widen your knees a little bit. We do want a forehead touching the mat. So arms can reach forward, but relax them if you prefer. You can reach your arms back, fingertips by your toes. This might be a good place to start to fist and open the hands, or flex the wrists, rotate the wrists. This will be the resting place if you need to come and skip something that we're practicing. And from here, we'll reach the arms forward if they are not already there. Lift the head just a bit and maybe draw the thigh bones back towards the midline. Taking it off the mat again to the side, left side. Really getting a good stretch through your right body. So if it's comfortable, you can set your head down towards the floor or on a block. I just usually leave mine up above my shoulders. Walking your hands across the mat to the other side. Just a nice stretch. From here, we're going to crawl ourselves forward and come into Sphinx. Sphinx is one of the safer back bends to practice, especially if you had some low back issues or you just sit and have a chronic situation on most days. So the forearms are planted on the mat. Generally, you want about a shoulder over elbow stack. Shoulders are going to start to roll back. And you're going to use your hands, your forearms to press and lift away from the mat, starting to pull the shoulder blades back even more, lifting the heart forward. So legs are active, glutes are somewhat active here. We do want the low back muscles to kick in a little bit, but if you had some issue there, you would want to squeeze the glutes just a little bit more. Couple rounds of breath, inhales and exhales. Good, and from here we'll lower all the way down. We're going to actually move the fingertips back behind the shoulders and once again press back into child's pose. From child's pose, we're going to make our way to a forward fold. So we'll slide the hands back under the shoulders. We'll start to lift the head off the mat. My feet are hanging off the mat, so I'm going to crawl forward just a bit. Curl the toes, walk the hands back towards the knees, and you'll just pop yourself up. So hanging in a forward fold, we want to have a pretty generous bend in the knee. And I like to take my feet a little bit wider the first time, possibly grabbing the elbows and adding a sway. So the feet are very, very rooted. You've got a soft bend in the knee. Your abdominals are pulled in to protect your back, and there are some awareness in the thighs and in the glutes. So let your head hang heavy if you like. And from here, we'll release the arms. Inhale, bringing it to a half forward fold. So if the flexibility is not as you hoped, we could always bring the hands up to the shins or the knees. You could use blocks here if you had them, or just simply walk your fingertips a little further forward and bend your knees. You want to lift your chest and lift your face. You'll exhale into that full forward fold, and from here we're going to bend the knees even more, draw our arms out to the side and scoop ourselves up. So we call this mountain pose. We're going to move just a little bit, so let's come to the front of the mat and find our mountain pose again. Lift your toes, spread them, kind of root down through the feet. A lot of people practice with their feet touching, and that's an awesome option for you. I prefer a little space. That's the way I was trained, and it just feels most comfortable to me. We'll take an inhale, reach up. And on our exhale, these first couple times, we're going to really bend the knees and take a slow, slow swan dive down, almost like you're doing a deadlift position. Letting the head hang. Inhale, lifting halfway up. Again, bring the fingertips forward or up to the knees, block if needed. Exhale into that full forward fold. Knees are bent, you're scooping yourself up all the way up. Using those lower body muscles to bring it back up to mountain pose. We'll do one more. We call these half sun salutations. Sometimes I shorten that and just call it a half sal. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep yourself up, reach up all the way up. So we'll add on just a little bit more as we come to the bottom. Take an inhale, reach. Exhale, still have that bend in the knee, at least for another round or two. Inhale, halfway lift, and we're actually going to move from here. So you'll bend your knees even deeper, and as you move your right leg back, your fingertips will move back with them to frame the foot. We're in a runner's position. We want to do our best to lift our chest, lift our face, and really extend through the back leg. And from our runner's position, we're going to go ahead and move into a pyramid variation. So you're staying high on the ball of the back foot. You're going to square your hips up as best as you can without having someone there to assist you. Draw your chest towards your thighs, your head towards your knee without hyperextending through the knees. I like to use my fingertips to really press away, draw the abdominals in. Just a nice stretch. From here, we'll meet back in runner. We're going to plant our right hand down. The left arm's going to move back and forth like a pendulum on the clock. And we'll reach forward and spin it open. Starting to draw the shoulders back, a little retraction there. Squeeze into the midline and breathe. As we come back to center, we're in our runner's position, maybe up on your fingertips if needed. We'll pull the right leg in. I'll meet you in a half forward fold. And then we'll take that full forward fold. We'll start over that little sequence. Inhale, reach up all the way up. Exhale again, we'll fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. We're going to be moving from here, so bend those knees. Take your left leg back. We're now in runner. So again, we have our 90-degree bend. We're lifting our chest, lifting our face, maybe put a smile on your face for a moment. And as we are able, we'll move into our pyramid variation, staying high on the ball of the back foot. Take a second to try to square up here. Usually you'll have to move your front leg, that hip back, and your back leg, that hip forward just a bit. On the inhale, you'll come back into your runner's position. We'll plant that left arm down. Remember, it's very important to stack the bones and the joints here to support you. You'll move your right arm back and forth several times. Just lubricating the joints a little bit. Next time you reach it forward, you'll spin it open. Drawing the shoulders back, a little retraction, open up the chest. If this bothers the neck to look up, you'll look down at the left thumb instead. And drawing back to center, we're in our runner's position. We're going to pull that left leg in to meet the right, half forward fold. Once again, full forward fold. Inhale, reverse one, back yourself into a little warrior flow next. We're gonna step our left leg back and we'll open into warrior two. So what you wanna do is make sure your heels are either heel to heel or heel to middle arch alignment. The front leg should be bent about a 90 over the ankle bone, or if the knee doesn't bend that well, maybe over the heel. Draw the arms back, the chest open, pressing down through the feet evenly, and maybe looking out over the right fingertips. It's always a good idea to look and see where your back arm, most of the time it's not where you think it is. From warrior two, we'll go into a reverse warrior. Yoga is all about space, creating length and space in the body. Come back through warrior two, reaching forward, making your way to extended side angle. So I usually do a windmill move on the shoulder for anyone who has shoulder issues or just tightness in that area. From here, looking down at the right foot, back up to warrior two. We'll cartwheel the hands to frame the foot. We are now back in runner's position. From here, we'll draw the left leg in, coming to our half forward fold, our full forward fold, returning to the top mountain pose. Just gonna do that same little warrior flow mountain pose. We'll step back with our right leg. We'll find our warrior two alignment, always checking the feet, checking that knee, opening up through the chest. And again, finding that arm length. From warrior two, taking it into that reverse warrior. A lot of times this bothers the neck, so if that's the situation for you, you'll look down at the back foot instead. Meeting again in warrior two, and then coming forward for your extended side angle. Trying to pull those shoulders back yet again, opening up through the chest, ribs pulling in. Here, back up to your warrior two. We'll cartwheel the hands, frame the foot. You're in your runner as you pull your back foot around. And from here, we're going to go ahead and set our right knee down, let our left knee come back to meet it. We'll be in our tabletop position. We're going to wag the tail side to side. Remember, you have the option to reach your arms back if that feels more comfortable. And fist and open the hands if you want. From here, we're going to go ahead and move on to our back side. This first video will be a little bit shorter practice. Just really getting our feet wet with this. This is not something I saw myself doing anytime soon, but here we are. So we have our knees bent, feet on the floor, and we'll take the feet just a little bit wider. Starting to move into what we call windshield wipers. Just relaxing the arms out to the side and just moving it away at a pace with a breath that feels really, really nice to you. Again, always checking in, taking little notes of what the body is presenting. From here, we'll extend the legs long, and if you're able, we'll extend the arms long over the head as well. Just always checking in if this bothers the neck or the shoulders. Just a nice big stretch. We'll release the arms back down to the sides, and we're going to go ahead and if you have a strap, unroll it. If you don't have a yoga strap at home, some other options would be a necktie or a belt, really anything that you can grab two sides of. But if you didn't have a prop like that, I can give you an option in just a second when we get where we're going. So we're going to pull our right knee towards our chest, and we'll interlace the fingers over the shin. So we want to relax the neck, maybe you have a slight tuck of the chin, the shoulder blades are nestled down. The left leg is active, so you can pretend you're standing on that foot if you wanted, and we might go ahead and rotate our right ankle. Our standing practice develops strength and stability from the sole of the foot up, and it's always nice to reward that foot and that ankle with some movement. If I did not have a strap, when I take my leg up, I would just extend it up and take the hands behind the knee or the thigh to hold the leg up. But if you have something that you can use as a strap, you'll loop it around the ball or the arch of the foot. And your breath is really, really important. We start to slow it down a little bit, let the heart rate slow down a little bit. The modification for this posture is to bend the opposite leg, placing the foot on the floor. But we do want to keep the sacrum down. You can see I have a little more flexibility to pull my leg closer to my body here with my opposite leg bent, but my sacrum is starting to lift up off the mat. So just find that position that feels just right to you. Inhaling and exhaling as we stretch these legs. If you needed a deeper variation, you can just start to draw your toes towards your shin bone. And from here, we'll take a hold of the strap with the right hand and guide the leg out to the side. Again, if I didn't have a strap, I would just take the hand around the outside of the leg and hold it at the thigh behind the knee area. It's important to try to leave your left hip down, so either placing your hand there or out to the side, that's usually right, to make you feel a little more stable. And you can just rest your elbow down on the floor if needed. Several rounds of breath. We'll come back to center and you'll switch your hands, taking the leg just past the midline. If I didn't have a prop on the inside of the leg, I would hold it just behind the knee or the thigh area, and you might soften the knee a little bit if this is an intense stretch. You can play around with angling your foot different ways. It does deepen the way the stretch feels in different parts of the leg. And if you're not very comfortable laying on the floor, I would suggest placing a blanket or something under your head to elevate the head. If you're feeling under the weather, your sinuses are bothering you, you have a headache, those are always great options. And finally, we come back to center. We're just going to bend that leg, shake it out a little bit. Often I'll do a single leg bicycle. It's just to encourage the blood flow to return back to its normal state. Maybe some windshield wipers, some observation. It might not be a dramatic awareness, but there should be a little bit of awareness from the right side to the left. And we're just going to do the other side. So we'll pull the left knee in, again, releasing the fingers as you hug the knee towards you. Start to move through your ankle a little bit if you want. And either looping your foot with your strap or using your hands to support your leg. As you get used to practicing and you're comfortable doing a home practice on your own without a video, these are an awesome option if you stand or sit a lot to help promote circulation and blood flow. Really, really good to stretch out the hamstrings, but really, really good for your back as well. And if you happen to be stuck at home during this shutdown for the coronavirus, this is a great thing to do with your family. Just laying down on the floor or in a place that you can all gather together, using whatever things you have around your house to create props. We'll take that left leg out to the side. Kids love to practice yoga and they love to do things with their parents as far as exercise and healthy things like this. It's good to let your kids see you doing things like this. Always returning to that breath and trying to stay mindful. When you're on your mat, this is a sacred space. It's a space for you and your body. Not just your physical body, your mind, your spirits. There's a lot of parts that involve what we're doing here. So you just want to keep in mind how you're moving, how you're breathing, what thoughts are going through your head. Come back through center and we'll finish this up switching once more to the right hand holding the strap, the leg move just past the midline. Governor's mandate, we made the decision to close our doors on Monday. The mandate didn't really come out until a couple days ago, but we decided to close on Monday. It's been rainy and gloomy the last few days, and so a lot of us are struggling with not only being stuck at home and isolating ourselves, but a little bit of depression. Can't get outside with it, so nasty out. So these yoga postures, this time you're setting aside to take care of yourself and be back in the room here and release. It's just really, really important to keep us healthy, keep us strong, to process the emotions and this overwhelming stuff that we're all dealing with. We're all in this together. So we've got just a couple more things we're going to do. We'll start at what I usually refer to as bridge prep. We're going to move into a pigeon position. And so we'll take their right leg up, externally rotate and cross over. I always like to take a pause here and check in and see how this feels to the knee, to the back. And if you wanted, you could join me in taking your right hand and pressing away at the right thigh. It's just a nice little awareness stretch from the front pocket of the hip. As you're able, you'll move into what we call backline pigeon in yoga. So hands either behind the thigh or on top of your shin. If this is a challenging position for you, you can always elevate your head again with something that supports you, or use your strap here to loop your leg and just use your hands to help hold your leg up. Because we really want to relax through the neck and the shoulders. I refer to that area as the schnack often. If these are any of my regular students are watching this video, maybe they'll get a little giggle. The schnack causes a lot of problems for most of us, especially those of you who are still continuing to work at your computers, whether you're at your desk or your kitchen table or sitting on the couch in your pajamas. Take a few moments to stretch that area and release that tension there. There's two ways to get where we're going. You can release your arms out to the side and just simply let your legs fall. If that bothers your back, you would send your foot back down to the floor and let your legs fall over. And just make adjustments as needed. You want to try to keep the shoulder blades nestled down. We've got a little bit of a spinal twist, but I'm also feeling some awareness coming down through the side of the leg, the low back, the glutes, the hamstrings. And you can do palms up or palm down. You can even turn your eyes to look the opposite way of the legs. Just a few breaths. And we do want to draw some core awareness in as we move ourselves back to center. Our bridge prep position, we're going to take our left leg up and rotate it and cross over. Taking a moment here to press away at that left thigh. Again, observing how this is feeling, and if you needed to, you can always stay here. Otherwise, we'll pull the right leg in towards us to create that pigeon shape. So it's a figure 4 shape. Do want to try to keep the sacrum down, just like we did in that posture with the strap. From here, we'll move into our twist, either letting the arms come to the floor and dropping the legs, or setting the leg down and dropping the legs over. Taking a moment to just adjust those shoulder blades. As we finish up here, we're drawing that awareness into the core and bringing the body back to center. Releasing back into bridge prep. And if you'd like, you could draw your knees in, hug them. Rocking is only appropriate for those who don't have any issues in their backside. So if you are one that has osteopenia, osteoporosis, even osteoarthritis, you might want to avoid that, or just be super, super gentle supporting the spine with an extra blanket or something. From here, we'll set the feet to the floor and extend the legs long, either setting up for Shavasana, corpse pose, legs up the wall, or a gentle restorative pose. If we've had you as a student at the studio, you know all of those very well. Come into a state of relaxation where you're closing your eyes and you're just allowing your breath to move freely through your body, feeling rising and then falling. You're welcome to stay here and practice restorative or relaxation for as long as you'd like. Thanks for practicing with